Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I just got done taking my sons to hit baseballs. This time of year it becomes extremely difficult for me to do my standard 3 times a week taking them to hit baseballs, because baseball season is starting now, and when baseball season starts and there's practices going on, it's extremely difficult for me to keep my routine going, but I keep it going no matter what. 3 times a week, these boys are going to hit baseballs with me or with or doing a lesson, and that's just the way it is. Moving along, I bumped into something that I've never seen before about XRP today. I found what I think is another XRP hedge fund, or at least that's what they call themselves, called the Titan XRP. I do not know if this is an active fund. They had a token that they were selling. It says the pre-sale begins on the 19th of November 2018 and ends on the 28th of February 2019. I do not know anything about this hedge fund. You can go and look at this at Titan XRP. They have an About Us page where you can go and you can look at the people that run this. I found their frequently asked questions section pretty interesting. But if you go here, you can see that this tells you the crypto hedge fund for all, regardless of your income level. This is basically a hedge fund. The way my understanding is, their minimum investment is like $100. So I'm not sure exactly what the deal is. But if you look at their team, they actually have people on here, and I think they're out of Ireland is where it looked like they are from. This guy says, this is interesting, this guy, Leon Campbell, it says that he was a banker for Santander and Barclays. That's an interesting little thing. And then if you go over here to their frequently asked questions, it says, and this is not a company, by the way, this is not someone who's trying to create an XRP token. This is an XRP hedge fund. But if you go down here to where it talks about, I think there's Titan XRP, why XRP? Banks and financial institutions are adopting it, whilst others already using it. And most, if not all, will use XRP in time. The speed of transactions of XRP is seconds compared to 3 to 5 business working days. Some interesting potential possibilities that have been discussed in the community about XRP's future. XRP will become the world's reserve currency. 2, Ripple's XRP escrow or a large percentage will be signed over to the IMF or World Bank. 3, XRP will become the global standard for the exchange of value through the Internet of Value web. I just thought that was interesting. So if you haven't looked at Titan XRP, I thought that would be an interesting thing to throw out to the community. I'm not sure if this is even still an active community, but it's an interesting concept anyway, so I thought I would tell you about it. Bank XRP posted this, and I saw this. Fidelity Investments' new crypto custody service may officially launch in March. This was in reference to this article on CoinDesk. Fidelity may formally launch its crypto custody service in March. Now, Fidelity's been relatively quiet, but what this reminded me of is this article from, I believe this is from January the 1st, where BACT had raised their $182 million in funding, and that its launch was going to be delayed. They had moved it to January 24th, and then it was going to be delayed again. Well, if you don't think this is the competitive landscape at work, think again. That's what I keep telling you, folks. Wall Street is coming, and you better believe they want to beat each other to the punch. This is literally a digital asset arms race is what is going on. It's been referred to as such in articles. Well, I want to take you now to the article that Abacus Journal did on the same topic today. Fidelity Fidelity drops March crypto date set. Fidelity sources claim the firm has a set in near stone launch date. I'm going to read a little bit of this to you. One could make the case that Fidelity's involvement in crypto is even bigger than Bakkt. As a massive asset manager to the masses, Fidelity's commitment, albeit from an institutional standpoint at first, will absolutely raise awareness amongst the investing public. Per Bloomberg, custody, a commonplace practice in conventional financial markets like stocks, involves a third-party holding onto securities to reduce the risk they'll be lost or stolen. But while a number of startups have sought to offer safekeeping service, many Wall Street professionals have longed to work with a large financial services firm, a role Fidelity may fill. Others, including Bank of New York Mellon Corp., J.P. Morgan Chase & Company, and Northern Trust Corp. Have explored entering the field. Meanwhile, digital coins are constantly stolen, underscoring the need for better safeguards. The other backdrop here is this. Bakkt and Fidelity could be on the cusp of a Goliath versus Goliath battle for hearts and minds and wallets of institutional investors as they allocate assets into the crypto space. Fidelity passed on the opportunity to invest in Bakkt nearly a year ago, presumably because they knew they were about to launch their own like-minded solution. So Fidelity and Bakkt are about to go to war, folks. That's one thing I want you to get out of this. Now, here's one thing I've never mentioned that I'm going to mention right now. You know, we keep seeing all these people refer to institutional investors and how they're going to go after institutions, and this is institutional investors and Well, let me throw you something that may be a little profound out to you. Guess who also is going to be the equivalent of institutional investors? A lot of us are going to be the equivalent, because ultimately institutional investors just means they have a ton of money, and for that reason Wall Street is interested in them. Many of us are going to be as big as institutional investors because we got here so early. We were here first. We were here and got it cheap. Many of us got it really cheap. Many of us will be as big and powerful as an institution. That's how earth-shattering all of this is. And so it should really excite you when you hear about all this attention, institutional. Well, guess what? A lot of us are going to be in positions that make us almost like an institution. That's pretty hard to believe or think about, but it's really true. In fact, in a couple of Hodor's blogs, one of the most profound things I've seen him write is when he referred to many of the early investors in XRP that could easily be in the traditional 1% of wealthy in the world. And I think he's right. Moving along, let me give some credit here. I got a message from the spelling is all twisted. The spelling of this handle almost looks like someone who has dyslexia. Maybe he just couldn't get the name he wanted. But it's Legendary XRP, and then it's Ripple Rensler. Just figured I'd touch base with you guys with a few pieces of news. I didn't mean that as an insult. I just thought it was funny how this is all lettered. But anyway, he gives this article here. U.S. Congressman Rob Woodall gives XRP Army a reply. I wanted to show you this just to show you just how powerful the XRP community is. This is the U.S. Congressman Rob Woodall. He is the guy who is putting forth the act, the taxonomy. God, every time I try to talk about this act, the Token Taxonomy Act, I believe is what it's called. I draw a blank every time about what exactly the thing was called. But he and another congressman, I believe DeSoto, are the ones that put up that act to try to get an exemption for digital assets so that they're not classified as securities. ATL XRP, an active member of the XRP community, asked Rob Woodall, one of the members of Congress, about his opinion about the government using cryptocurrencies such as XRP. Replying in an email, the congressman said that XRP and other digital assets are beneficial in today's world. In his word, I agree that the federal government is in the best position to promote the cryptocurrencies in the United States and lead the world in innovation. This would be a better approach that will encourage growth in the industry rather than stifle it. This school of thought should absolutely apply to cryptocurrency. I wanted to show you that just to let you all know that you need to make sure that your congressman knows about that Token Taxonomy Act and that we all want digital assets not to be classified as a security, and to know that these congressmen are listening to us. And so let them know what you think. Okay, moving along. I wanted to, this is something I talked about the other day, but I wanted to drill down a little bit to let you know how for real this really is. This is from, what I talked about is Hedera Hashgraph. Hashgraph, okay, when you think about blockchain, Hashgraph is supposed to be blockchain 2 or 3 or 5.0. It's supposed to be the thing that's coming down the road, okay? And I'm going to show you a little more about it. But the reason I thought about this is this was a reply from Cryptocurrency Trading View at currency_view. He was replying to this. You can earn, this is from Hashgraph News. You can earn an additional 1,000 HBAR, which is their digital asset, by testing the Hashgraph pay-to-read articles micro payment system, and it's on dailystamp.com. Well, when I saw this, it was interesting because I did this last night, okay? And I'm going to show you what you need to do, but first I wanted to go through his thing here. He said, what happened when you hit the 1,000 HBAR? Are you capped at 1,000 or can you use more? And then they said, so far it seems like it's capped at 1,005. Okay, so here's what you do, folks. Well, here's his actual thing. I just received 5 HBAR for joining Hedera Hashgraph, and then you can go to the website there. And then he shows what it is they allow you, first you sign up on their website, then you can go and download the Hedera Hashgraph app. And what you do is you set it up with Chrome as well. And then once you're all set up, you'll get 5 HBAR, which is their digital asset, it'll show up on your phone and when you log in online. Okay, well, here's how you do it. This is Hedera.com. It's HEDERA.com. Okay, now here's what you do is you go to portal sign up. Okay, and then when you go to the sign up, it says create your login. It says join the community testing program to test the mainnet. You create your profile. You can earn HBAR earnings for your testnet. Build, develop, and this is beyond my expertise. I don't know any more than that. But anyway, once you've signed up and they've got a Google Chrome extension that you have to install. Once you've done all of that, you can go to this dailytimestamp.com and you just read these articles. And as you read these articles, once your Chrome extension is installed, when you're reading these articles, you are earning HBAR, and it says earn up to 1,000 HBAR. Well, for those of you that are listening to me and you're saying, oh, well, Hedera, what is that? That's some scam thing. No, this is not some scam thing. This is like I've said before, this, I believe, from everything I've read, is like way down the road, like 4th or 5th generation. It's past blockchain. It's the next thing. But guess who's invested in Hedera? Just if you don't want to take my word for it, I went to their investor webpage and wanted to show you this. Computer's slow tonight. They're invested by Blockchain Ventures, Block Tower Capital, Block Wall Capital, CMCC Global, DHVC Capital, DNA Fund. Who's that? The Digital Currency Group. That's the same digital currency group that is run by Barry Silbert. That's the same digital currency group that is invested in Ripple. That's the same digital currency group that's invested in Coinbase and every other major blockchain company that you can name. Digital Currency Group has their hand in it. They have their hand in that pie. They're invested in Hedera Hashgraph. This is one of those rare things where you can go and sign up and get yourself into their system, okay? This hasn't even hit coin market cap yet. This is before the before, okay? This is one of those rare things, and that's why I keep bringing it up. I think this is the third time I've brought it up. I found this, I think it was either myself or my father that found this by doing some research. But you have nothing to lose. You can go sign up for free and you'll get some free HBAR. That's your worst case scenario. So go check it out. This is for real. So go check it out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that the digital asset investor told you to go check out Hedera Hashgraph. Thank you for listening.